We're building a complex like no other that's ever been built before. We're going to be having houses that are actually a housing unit and a greenhouse combination, so that your house actually is your business, and the house will pay for itself and support the family that's living in it. And we want to build a large group of these homes on a piece of property so we have enough production to be able to supply a large city, and that's kind of our goal. It was just plain field when we got here. We're like 70 acres, and we're surrounded by farmland, and the train track runs on the north side of us. We're also going to be doing a bunch of research here. We have our still grow hydroponic system that we use in our system, which makes it very unique. But we're also going to dabble in aquaponics and hydroponics, and it's all about food though, and about having a viable business with that food. We'd end up with 25 homes on this property all doing the same thing. That's what the goal is right now. So we have the home designed so that we have 6 buildings, 3 side by side on each side. 4 of those buildings are greenhouse areas, and we're actually growing mushrooms as well in one of those. And then 2 of them will be a home. We use grow lights, and we're using actual sunlight, and then we're going to implement the heat factor in the wintertime of using the grow lights. They actually act as heaters, and we can push that heat into the house from the greenhouses and then not have to have a furnace in that house. We can actually heat it with those grow lights. Depending on the plants, the spacing of height of shelving is 3 or 4 levels. And then we use our still grow liquid system, which is just a pail filled with the correct nutrient formula for the type of plant you're growing. And then we have those sitting on shelves with grow lights above them. We can grow almost anything that's not a root plant in that liquid system. We can run 3 basil plants in a pail system, in one pail, 2 lettuces, 1 tomato, 1 cucumber, like that kind of thing. It depends on the size of the plants. And then the amount of watering you want to do, like with the tomatoes and the cucumbers, 5-gallon pails are what we'll be using for that. And then you don't have to do anything. You get them set up, you get them growing, and then you just leave them. Everything runs on timers, everything runs by itself until harvest time. And if you use a big enough pail system for the nutrient solution, it just takes care of itself for 3 months. It's pretty unusual that you can actually get a home that'll pay for itself. What we've got this house set up for right now, based on some of the plants that we've decided that we would get going to start with, which basil's a huge one, and then a bunch of other ones as well that we're kind of experimenting with. On average, you're going to make about $45,000 a year with this home, but you can expand that to up to $120,000 depending on what you're doing. And it's really viable, and it's going to change the way people grow food. Like that's what our goal is. It's healthy food. It's grown indoors in a controlled environment. There's no herbicides, pesticides, or fungicides. And we can deliver it same day fresh, not 2 weeks from South America. So that's pretty much what we're trying to do. We'll be running all our waste in those biogas tanks, and we'll also be running sewage in the biogas tanks so we can get rid of our sewage without having any effect on the land. The end result is you get power, and you get heat, and you get fertilizer. We're going to do some experimentation with solar hydrogen, which we can do water purification with, and then also a windmill design that I'm working on that's also going to be a mechanical pump for compressed air. So we're trying to be able to store energy, which is the biggest problem with the energy sector right now. So this stuff is new technologies mixed with old stuff. The best systems that you can use for doing anything are the easiest. The more complicated you make something, the harder it becomes to use it. This can be done anywhere. And then you want to grow your food as close to your population as possible so you can get the food to the people the same day or within 1 day, and stop importing food from the other side of the planet. It makes no sense whatsoever. We're basically trying to set up the property with 25 homes so we can grow a substantial quantity of food so that we can market it as a larger quantity of food. 25 homes, we figure families of 4 in those 25 homes, and their home is their job. They live here, they work here, and it's a rural area, so it's supposed to be good for the kids growing up. It's almost like a small acreage farm kind of setting, and we're trying to just make it as viable as possible so that people can have quality lives.